Quick insurance advice for new small business owners. Starting a business may entail significant expenses, so as an entrepreneur, you may be tempted to forget or skip insurance and treat it as an unnecessary expense. However, having proper coverage can help you save money now or in the future, giving you the peace of mind you need as you're trying to get your business off the ground. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm just doing fantastic today. I hope you are doing marvelous and wonderful. And if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Let's roll. Today I want to talk about quick insurance. I want to talk about insurance specifically for new small business owners. Before I get into the nitty-gritty, let me quickly give a shout out to Rachel Matthews in Chesterfield, Missouri, Riley Gallagher in O'Fallon, Missouri, and Kieran Morgan in Columbia, Missouri. So Rachel, Riley, and Kieran, we really appreciate your feedback all over the months. We really appreciate it. Now, number one, I just want to emphasize the fact that you should definitely get insurance. If you are a new business owner, don't even underestimate the importance of insurance. The thing here is that don't take the risk of not getting insurance, because insurance provides peace of mind, right? It's a risk mitigation tool. It allows you to cover your business, or to actually hedge significant events that may happen to your business, right? Now, the thing here is that, you might be thinking, do I really need insurance? You do need insurance, or some kind of insurance, right? Now, the types of insurance you need might be different, but chances are, if you are in business, your whole goal is to prevent any kind of financial devastation, right? And financial devastation may occur from various sources. So it is very important to say that there's a whole lot of bad things that could happen to your business, and that could cost you a lot of money. I'm talking about natural disaster, for instance, right? Thefts. Let's say you have flaws in product design that results in bodily injuries to your customers. If there is an accident in the workplace, if there is negligence or malpractice. And in today's world, we have data breaches, so you have client privacy is very important, specifically if you sell to a minor audience. If your customers or your ultimate customers are children, you got to comply with a whole list of legislative pieces, that is including COPA, right? So the thing here is, there is a whole litany of adverse things that could happen to your business. So never underestimate the importance of having insurance. Now, there's another thing I want to specify here, is that you should purchase general liability insurance. All right, so in the first section, I just convinced you that, at least I wish I was able to to convince you that you should definitely get insurance. Now, the second thing I want to say here is that you gotta buy general liability insurance, right? Now, what is general liability insurance? This kind of insurance covers the cost of claims that are made against your business for both property damage and bodily injury. This is very important. Property damage and bodily injury. For example, let's say you just have a customer come over to your offices, and the customer falls at your business. So the customer falls, let's say, on the while going back, and that customer sustains an injury. Now, the customer might turn around and make a claim against your business to cover the cost of treatment, right? So if you have general liability insurance, that kind of coverage will provide you the financial means to take care of that customer. In other words, your insurance will talk to his or her insurance, and they'll take care of things. And this is very important, because if you're in business to grow, you got to have the cash to sustain your operations. And if your cash is going to pay to settle insurance damage, insurance claims, as opposed to being funneled into the business, it is very likely you're not going to succeed, right? So this is why insurance is important. So the first insurance that you need to get is general liability insurance. Now, I talked about property. I talked about bodily injury, but you can also have property damage, right? Something could happen. You can have a business automobile being driven into, I don't know, like something happened to the car. The car the car hits a tree or hits somebody's fence, and that's damage to their property. If they sue you, your liability insurance, your general liability insurance can cover that. Okay, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We're still having a conversation around insurance for new small business owners. All right. Now, if you like the kind of content you're hearing so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you are notified whenever we send out a new show. We do so every single day, sometimes even more than once a day, depends on the workload. Like this content, share with people. If you know a small business owner, a new small business owner who needs a kind of information, is maybe overworked or overwhelmed by all the tasks that needs to be done, send them this show so they can hear what really matters when it comes to launching a solid business. Comment below, let us know your experience, and we'll really appreciate it. Speaking of our viewers and listeners, we want to acknowledge Evie Allen in Greenville, South Carolina, Skylar Richardson in Hilton Head Island, that's South Carolina, and Patrick Watson in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So Evie, Skylar, and Patrick, all the way from South Carolina. We really appreciate it. The third step I want to talk about is health insurance, and I believe you should definitely buy health insurance. Right? Health insurance is just a must. Now, I'm talking about health insurance for yourself as the boss, but also health insurance for your employees. This is very important, right? So what you want to do is, when it comes to health insurance, as with all kinds of insurance, you want to shop around, right? Because insurance prices change every year, so you want to basically shop around. You can go online, or you can reach out to a local broker and trying to find out what exactly they have. If you already have insurance individually, let's say insurance privately, reach out to the same insurance company and see if they offer something for on the business side, right? Because you want to save money. Another thing you want to do when it comes to medical insurance is to get into trying to find out insurers that offer an HSA-compatible plan. This is very important. HSA stands for Health Savings Account. This is kind of a long-term account that an employee sets up to pay for their healthcare expenses. And the thing here is that HSAs generally can only be used with specific HSA-compatible insurance plan. All right. So one thing also, when it comes to business health insurance, think about level funding, because what happens is that the insurer will want you to fund your premiums on a monthly, on a quarterly, on a biannually, or on a biannual or annual basis. See what they have in terms of options. All right, and think about, again, what's very important is you want to start talking to your employees about health insurance, right? So you want to make sure that the employees understand what health insurance is, that they adopt healthy lifestyles, and they're pretty much proactive when it comes to managing the health insurance plan with you, the co-founder or the founder. This is very important. One thing you also want to see here is that you can also talk to the insurance companies about something called FSA. Now, FSAs are flexible spending accounts, so they can set it out for you. And the thing is that your employees can set aside money to pay for healthcare through the FSA. And the good thing here is that the money is being taken out of the paycheck pre-tax. All right. So this is pretty much it when it comes to health insurance. So you definitely want to get that. Another thing you need to think about is auto business insurance. Now, if you are lucky enough to live in a part of the country where you just walk to work, or your employees don't need a car, don't need cars to travel around or to move around, then you're lucky. But in 99% of cases, chances are you might use a car or cars in the normal operation of your business. So you basically want to get an automobile business liability insurance policy, right? Because this is the kind of policy that will help your business cover the cost of repairing the vehicles or replacing them, right? And the thing here is that, even if the company itself doesn't own any vehicles, if you or your employees are using your personal vehicles for business, then your personal insurance policy may or may not cover risks that are business related. This is why it's important to have automobile business liability insurance. All right. Now, the thing is, if you have that kind of insurance, they will cover it. They'll cover any adverse events that happens during the normal operation of the business. All right. Now, depending on where you live and on the policy that you buy, the coverage limits will be between $500 to $1.5 million. Okay. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We want to acknowledge our millions of viewers and listeners. Particularly, we want to acknowledge Serenity Dillard in Pleasant Hill, Washington State, Tanner Corner in Bellevue, Washington State, Joe Ortega in Bellingham, Washington State. Thank you so much. And we want to also give a shout out to millions of viewers throughout the world, specifically in Africa. We have Nigeria, we have Algeria, we have Tunisia, we have Ghana, we have also in Latin America, Brazil, and Venezuela. Thank you so much for all the love. We just get it all the way from those countries. We really appreciate it. Now, number 5, when it comes to insurance advice for new small business owners. Now, this kind of advice applies also to existing small business owners, right? Experienced small business owners. You should consider professional liability insurance. Now, what is that kind of insurance? Now, professional liability coverage basically insures you against the cost of claims against your business for defects or errors in your products and or services. This is very different from malpractice. All right. So the thing here is you want to get that. Again, if you're in the business and you provide services or products, chances are one day or another something might happen, and this kind of insurance is there to limit the risk of financial destruction to your business, right? So if your product has any defect or errors, whatever, that insurance will step in. Okay, I mean, I'm sure you've heard about all the recalls that the auto industry has suffered in the last few years. Even if you're not in the business of making autos, and if you were, you wouldn't be called a small business. But even if you're not in that business, your product or service might cause a customer to experience something detrimental, and they might turn around and sue you. So this is what it is. So the professional liability insurance will cover that. That insurance will also cover the cost of claims made against your business due to mistakes by employees. This is very important. Let's say, for instance, like you have a staff member accidentally scheduled the wrong service for a client or customer, for instance, right? So this is important as the business grows, as you start having more employees. It's important to have that because chances, we're all humans, right? Things happen. Nobody's perfect. An employee might make a mistake, and you want to cover that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to insurance for new small business owners is coverage bundling. You should definitely bundle coverages to reduce the overall expenses. What does that mean? It means that you are buying basically all of those policies I just talked about. You're buying it from the same company, or you're buying it from 2 companies, but not 6 companies. Like if you have to buy 6 policies, don't talk to 6 different companies, right? Because every company is trying to make money off of you. But if you go to one company, you have a bigger negotiating tool, and you can bargain with them. So that's what bundling means. And the benefit is that you save money, not just saving money. because money is important. Of course, you save money, but you are actually managing your account with one single company. So you have one payment. You can have one payment instead of writing 6 different checks or doing 6 different wire transfers. You have a single payment. You know the date, and that sort of helps you, right? And also the thing here is that it's also very good when it comes time for renewal. If you have to renew the insurance, instead of talking to 6 different companies, that's just a lot better to reach out to one, right? So you just call your representative, your account representative, and just talk to them. All right? It's very important. Okay, I'll be right back right after this. I'll go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Speedy Kiwi. We're about to wrap up today's conversation. And for those who just joined us and they were wondering what today's the context of today's conversation was, it's very simple. Starting a business may entail significant expenses. So as an entrepreneur, you may be tempted to forget or skip insurance and treat it as an unnecessary expense. However, having proper coverage can help you save money now or in the future, giving you the peace of mind you need as you're trying to get your business off the ground. So I give you 6 quick things, and I'm going to recap them very quickly here. But before I do that, let me say that we would really appreciate if you can just subscribe to our channel. If you love the content we've been providing, subscribe now, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any future show. Like the show, share it, comment below, and give us your experience about small business ownership and insurance. All right. Quick shout out to Emerson Coleman in Frankfort, Kentucky, Angel Parrish in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Ronald Noble in Owensboro, Kentucky. Thank you so much. So, in today's conversation, I was urging you to buy insurance. Don't start a business and say, I don't need insurance. No, you need insurance. As long as you are in business, you need insurance. Now, the types of insurance you have to find out by talking to a broker or by doing research yourself online. You should definitely purchase general liability insurance, health insurance, auto business insurance, and you might want to consider professional liability insurance. Now, to kind of wrap things up here, make sure you bundle everything, bundle coverages, so you reduce overall cost and you have a single interlocutor when it comes to your insurance, right? You have one account representative, and you can renew or negotiate your insurance premiums and policy details a lot more efficiently. Now, today's call to action is very simple. I just want to, as a new small business owner, you want to assess your risk. You want to think about, based on your particular situation, you want to think about what kind of accidents, lawsuits, natural disasters could damage your business. If you know your business pretty well, you know what kind of events, what kind of adverse events could be detrimental or even fatal to your business. If you don't know, do research, right? Contacts, you might want to get some intel on competitors, for instance. Another thing you want to do here is that you want to, before buying insurance, you can also just reach out to a reputable licensed agent, right? Somebody who is specialized in commercial insurance, so that they can actually match your business needs to the kind of insurance you need, right? And again, as I said earlier, shop around. It's very important. Shop around and reassess your needs every year. Now, we have a great recap here when it comes to business insurance, the types of business insurance you need. We have a great recap from the United States Small Business Administration. And as you can see on the screen here, the SBA has done a great job here at just having all this. So you have general liability insurance, product liability, professional liability, commercial property insurance, home-based business insurance, and business owner's policy, right? And it tells you who each kind of insurance is for, what it does. So I would say at a minimum, you need general liability insurance. I think I said that before. You need that because anything from bodily injury, property damage, medical expenses, libel, slander, defending lawsuits, and settlement bonds and judgment will be covered by that kind of insurance. All right. Now, if you are in a business of providing services, then you might want to get professional liability insurance, right? So that if there is malpractice, errors, and negligence, you're covered, right? One thing that's also very important, and this is very important because nowadays a lot of folks start their business out of their house, so either in the basement or in the living room or in a dedicated room in the house. So you want to get home-based business insurance. So this kind of insurance can offer protection for a small amount of business equipment and liability coverage for third-party injuries. All right. Thank you, folks, for listening. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you next time. Remember, stay marvelous.